What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of JusTalks podcast. I'm Justin Neely. Co-hosting with me is my guy, Jason, and our special guest today, the 518 sniper, Meghan Huerter. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, first segment I want to get into. Yesterday, they released the release date of The Party Never Ends. Juice WRLD album coming out November 22nd. Yesterday, they came out with the EP, The Pre-Party, as like the pregame of the album release. Now, as a Juice WRLD fan yourself, what would be like the top 3 songs you would like to see on this album?
Top 3 songs, definitely. I mean, unreleased, he got like over 1,000, but I gotta go Rental. Living at the Top. For the last one, Biscotti in the Air for sure. Super banger.
Well, I will say Rental has been confirmed to be on the album. That's one of the only 3 I think that have been confirmed. So yeah, that's going to be exciting to come out now. There's so many unreleased songs. It's hard to pick which ones I want to see. So I'm just going to go with artists I'd like to see featured. I'd have to go easily with Ski Mask. He's always him and Juice, dynamic duo. Corday is also a good one for him. It's party music. So I'd also see like Yachty, because Yacht Club was awesome. I'd like to see something like that. And the releases we never get from the leaks is the Chainsmokers. Because the Chainsmokers keep it really, really hush-hush. So I would love to see that come. Apparently they said they may never come out, which would suck because, you would like to see it happen.
They got a couple songs that are really good, though.
You've heard it?
Of course.
I can't find those leaks for the Chainsmokers. Now, the question I have for both of you is, what are your thoughts on posthumous album releases?
I mean, what I don't really like is how nowadays, like after an artist passed, that's when people really start to dig into the music and listen to it. Like XXX Tentacion, for example, Florida guy. After he passed away, that's when he really like took off and his impact was like realized in the community. And recently Rich Homie Quan passed away. I'm sure that some more music by him is going to come out, and then people are going to go support it even more.
A great example, Memphis boy, Young Dolph.
Young Dolph as well.
A lot of people don't listen to Young Dolph till he passed. See, the thing about that though is it's like I don't know. To me, I go both ways with it, because it's like it's nice seeing them get recognition, but you wish it would just happen sooner. I mean, it's happened to so many, not just musicians, but actual artists as well. I mean, Van Gogh died broke. No one knew who he was until years and years later. So, I mean, at least Juice WRLD did have success when he was alive. Lucid Dreams is a diamond song. Like, that's insane. I mean, there's not many diamond artists at all time. Like, it's an accolade not many people can achieve. And so, yeah, I mean, it goes both ways with it, but I think, I think his family and him, I think he would appreciate the success he has.
Yeah, definitely.
When he passed away, I definitely listened to more of his music. So like that all just is true for me. But yeah, I don't know as much of his music as you seem to know. So
he's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, you were just taking over that. So I was listening.
I will say, I mean, the first 2 shoot-arounds we had, you were decked out in Juice merch. You had the Revenge on V-Lone. All that. Yeah. Now the thing I like to talk about also is like, when does it get to be too much? Because a great example of this is Tupac. Tupac actually has more album releases posthumous than actually when he was alive. So does it get to a point where it's like, it seems like they're just trying to take advantage of the money that could be made?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Juice WRLD, he has over 1,000 songs made that are unreleased. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think like they could put out another posthumous album from him for like another 15 years, But I think that'll kind of water down his effect and impact. So, I mean, I think this one, maybe one more in like 10, 15 years or something like that, but they shouldn't water down his impact by releasing like 100 albums by him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they announced this is it. That's why they're doing the 2 EPs and the album to send it off, because a lot of people are getting upset because of how much people are taking advantage, not just the label, but his girlfriend at the time. And it seems like, you don't want to ruin your reputation, and people hate Bibby already. So I think he just wants to get away from it. I mean, it's crazy some of the things they would do to get money. Like at one point they were selling his dreads. Yeah. And they were selling anything that like on his body and everything for like thousands and thousands of dollars. It's kind of crazy what people will do. it's unfortunate. You know, I don't think he would have liked it if he known his people were selling his teeth and his dreads, but you know,
I'm like, that's just extreme at that point. Like, that's just crazy.
They literally took out his teeth and were selling it.
Who would want that? That's the real question.
It's concerning, but definitely people bought it.
Crazy people out there.
Yeah,
so crazy.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think he has one of like the most diehard fan bases in any rap artist of all time. So it's his fan base is insane. It's definitely something that not many rappers could ever have, and that's why I think people would go to the extreme measures of that. And that's the thing is terrible when you get extreme fan bases. They can exploit it so much to where it's like damaging to the artist himself. So that's all we have for that segment. Now the second segment is your Miami guy Jimmy Butler is fond of joining the Brooklyn Nets. I honestly don't understand this move at all. They're rebuilding. He's old. He should be wanting to win now.
He isn't that old. I don't like how you kind of disrespected my guy Jimmy.
Isn't he like 36?
34, 35.
Still, that's all.
That's what I'm saying here. I mean,
he's on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, he's also always hurt, so it's.
This past season, yeah. Well, you know, he's asking for an extension from the Heat.
Yeah.
3-year deal. They didn't give it to him. Pat Riley said, you know, like you said, you know, due to an injury, they're not going to pay this guy a max extension. It was like over $160 million for someone who isn't, you know, playing. You know, they're not going to give him that to sit on the bench. But going to the Nets, no, not happening.
Honestly, I'm going to defend that position real quick because there's one reason, and that's the money. Because the Nets are probably one of the only teams that would max him out right now. And I mean, if he wants a 1 year max, I could see it, or 3 year max, I could see it.
I think Jimmy's at the point now where he's not really chasing money. It's more.
Then why would he want to join the Nets? He said he was fond of joining the Nets. There's no reason besides money.
I think it's the city.
The city of Brooklyn? Why would you want to go to the Knicks at that point? Like, I feel like.
I mean, but also the Knicks has the Villanova crew. It's like the Nets, there's no big guy.
Wow, you're saying if he wanted to go to the Knicks wouldn't want him?
No, I'm saying he probably wants to be the main guy.
Yeah, that's probably what happened with Carmelo.
He's going to be everything.
What
it's
place would you put him on the Knicks?
Where?
Like, what option would you have him as the Knicks? Like Brunson 1. Where do you think Jimmy would fit? 2
or 3. Him and Mikal go back and forth.
Okay. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I want to hear.
Just give me a finger, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
You want to take it?
All right, so if we're talking options, Brunson number 1, right? Obviously Mikal or Julius Randle number 2.
Randle.
So
Julius
he's
Randle
never
number
healthy.
2.
If he's healthy, he can be a number 2. At number 4, I think you could put Jimmy. I think you could put Jimmy. That's all I have to say.
Wait, you have him at 4? That's tough. 4. How do you feel about that? Your boy Jimmy Butler has a 4th.
I think he's better than the 4th option.
I can't believe Julius Randle at 2 or 3 because he's never healthy. 1, 2, he's not good. He's just a ball hawk. Like he literally, all his points are because he doesn't pass. Like he was good when the Knicks had nobody.
Though. He's a good player though.
I think it makes his team worse though. I think the Knicks are better without him.
Fair take.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, he's a power forward who plays point. Like the ball's always in his hands. And he's just not that guy. He's just not. He's not LeBron. He's not Luka. He's not Wemby. Like It's just to be fair to him. He's a good player, but he's not a franchise player. And I think that's the problem is he wants to play like a franchise player because he played with the terrible Knicks that were for 5 years, 3 years, wherever it was. They were awful. They were one of the worst teams in the league battling for top draft picks. And there's a reason he was the number 1 option, but he's not that. That's not that team anymore. Yeah. So I can't see him being a top 3 option. I think if Butler joins, he has to be top 3. There's no way. The next segment we have today is Jamal Murray was max extended through 2028 with the Nuggets. Now, I think it makes sense. The Nuggets are always contenders. Might as well just keep everybody because if you're already contenders, there's no reason to change anything.
Absolutely. And he's been there his whole career. Won a championship with them, came back after injury, still averaging about 20 and 4, 6 assists, through the 3 seasons he was back after getting injured the 21 season. But he's a major part of, what they have there, and now he deserves it.
Definitely. He might not be a top 5 point guard in the league, but
still hasn't been an all-star yet.
Yeah, but he's been a very, very good role player for them, and I don't know if they would have a championship without him.
No, averaging 26 and 7 assists in the championship run in the finals. That's.
I mean, it's also part of one of the best 2-man games. So it's also like he doesn't need to be one of the best players on the floor as long as he works within the offense, which he does.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Definitely.
That's what. Yeah, you're also playing with the best player in the league right now, so it makes the game a lot easier.
Yeah, and they just brought him some help in free agency.
Oh yeah, Birdie.
Yeah, I think that's going to help a lot because they didn't really have anybody, because unfortunately he is very injury riddled his whole career. His big question is always, can he stay healthy? So for them to bring depth in, I think is huge for the Nuggets. Now, the next segment, Kuzma believes that if he wasn't traded from the Lakers, that they would be absolute title contenders. Where would the guy play? Because he's
I don't see that.
He's the 3, he would be the 3 or the 4, right?
4, yeah.
So you're putting him over LeBron, no. Not putting him over AD. I don't even know how to put him over Dalton Neck, who they just drafted. That guy's good.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. Austin Reeves as well. I don't like how you shake your head like that.
Is that a hot take?
He's not a 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. You were talking about position.
Yeah. Like, where's he going to fit?
Yeah.
So I just don't think it makes any sense. He's just salty because they didn't want him clearly, and he's on the Wizards where he's
struggling. The Jordan Poole, and it's
the team's a joke.
Yeah, it's a bad place to be at right now. He's definitely just salty. Wanted to be on the winning side, but
we've seen a lot of dumb comments by NBA players in the last few weeks. It's tough, I guess, because there's no games going on. They just have to say the worst comments. I don't know. It's worse this or Shaq with Gobert being the worst player of all time. I don't know which one beats the other, but they're both pretty bad.
Terrible take by Shaq. But
do you have any comments on the take?
No, I just think once AD came, his minutes were gone, and they didn't need his scoring anymore. So.
Yeah, I mean, you said that perfectly.
I mean, someone else better just moved in, and he was just salty that they didn't keep him.
Yeah, I mean, can't be more honest than that. I think that, he'd be a great bench piece, but there's no reason for him to go on the bench piece because, one, I think they'd have the same chance, not the same, but it wouldn't be that significant of a difference for a title run. And two, I think he wants to be a starter. So I think that's why he's going to stay with the Wizards. Now
he's the main scoring option there.
Yeah, I mean, like longevity of his career, he's better for him to be on the Wizards than
sitting
on the bench for the Lakers.
Absolutely. And I mean, I hate to say it, but if you can just start for the Wizards, there's probably not many options where you're going to start in the league. To be honest, there's not many teams. I think he would be the guy to go to. So I think that there's a reason he's on the Wizards. Same with Jordan Poole. Now, the next segment we have here is Jasper Johnson. We committed to Kentucky, which is huge because they've lost so many recruits after the Cal departure when he took all of his guys to Arkansas. So it's nice to see them land somebody.
Yeah, I think Mark Pope did a good job so far. Johnson being a 5-star recruit that they brought in, and they also have another 4-star big man coming in. So, he's trying to keep the standard at Kentucky. They've produced pros even though it was under Cal, but now it's his opportunity as head coach. And, he got a 5-star and a 4-star so far. So
sorry to Kentucky fans, but they're going to be disappointed. Cal's one of the greatest recruiters of all time.
Oh.
They're not going to generate the same amount of pros that Coach Cal did, obviously, because he's the greatest recruiter of all time. So I think Kentucky fans have to accept that nature of it and just accept the win that they got. They got Jasper Johnson. Wait, that's really bad.
Just take the win.
All right. Last time, I think that they have to be, they have to be happy with the fact they got Jasper Johnson, as phenomenal as he is, and just be okay with that because they're not going to be able to get the same amount of caliber potential that Coach Cal did.
When you compare the two, I think Coach Cal's still going to get more 5-stars, over than Kentucky will bring just because his, respect in the game and
his name.
Yeah, the name. So it doesn't matter where he's at. Coach Cal's going to get it done.
We got a fun segment here is what is everybody's NCAA predictions? I'll go first here. I am huge on UConn this year. I love Paige Beckers. I love KK Arnold. And I think that they honestly could have won it last year. I mean, they made it a tough challenge for Iowa. And honestly, the only question I have is if Paige Beckers can stay healthy because she's been injury riddled her whole career. Besides last season was really her first full year. Now, what I will also say to end that thought is I don't think they messed up when they picked her over Caitlin Clark in high school. I think she is the number one women's basketball player, and I think it's that simple.
That's a hot take right there.
It's a hot take. All right. Paige fits UConn's whole like basketball persona, like their offense. She fits it better than Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark needs to have the ball in her hands 90% of the time for her to produce. Whereas Paige is better off the ball. She can handle the ball. Whereas like UConn, they are better 1 through 5. Whereas Iowa is just one player.
Wow, Caitlin Martin disrespect right there.
No, I fully respect Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
And
I'm just saying.
Are you saying Kate Martin?
Yeah.
No, Kate Martin's good, but
You said one player, just.
No, but think of Kate Martin 4 years ago when she first came to college.
Yeah,
she wasn't the player that she was,
Yeah,
and Caitlin Clark
really,
made her good.
Yeah.
Not saying she made her good, but
Caitlin
it's like
Clark made right there. Heard it here first.
No, but I'm saying like being on a program like that with a player like that, like obviously they're gonna work and make everyone else around them better, which she did. She made everyone else around them better.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that the reason why I think Paige Bueckers is better, not just that she fits UConn better, but because she doesn't have any weaknesses. Caitlin Clark, obviously a phenomenal shooter, but she's not great getting off the ball. She's not great rebounding, obviously. She's a great passer, and she had trouble creating her own shots, and that's why she shoots from half court, because no one's going to defend you from half court. I mean, they still did at the end of the season, but she kind of had to do that. But Paige Bueckers can do everything. There's not one thing that's not in her repertoire, and I think that's what makes her so good for UConn, and which is going to make them so good in the deep runs.
I think our Great Danes women's team is going to make a run in March. That's who I'm going for. Yeah. That's my choice. I'm not,
My person who I think is going to win is USC. Juju, they added a person from Oklahoma State, one of their best players, guards. They added the best big from Stanford that I think was better than Cameron Brink last year.
Really? That is a hot take.
Honestly,
Cameron Brink, top pick in this last draft.
No, but I played Stanford last year. Cameron Brink is good, but I'm forgetting her other name right now. But she's now at USC, and she was arguably so much harder to guard. I mean, I personally didn't guard her, but like watching her, she's a woman amongst girls.
All right, that's definitely a hot take. I mean, Cameron Brink is arguably one of the greatest bigs in women's basketball history. I mean, the bigs at women's basketball in the recent years, is making so much progress, and they've had. I mean, you've obviously had like Brittany Griner and them, but it seems like it's more frequent where we're seeing more talent on the taller side. Now, everyone's going to say South Carolina should be the favorites. Great coaching there. But the problem is I really do like Camilla, but because, she's obviously now in the WNBA, and Watkins was arrested and she's not coming back. She was arrested for battery and kidnapping. That's it. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, South Carolina's always going to be contenders, but I mean, it's just pick and choose. I think it's going to be, the Final Four is going to be obvious. I think it's going to be USC, LSU, UConn. For you, you know what? We'll put the Great Danes in there.
Great Danes, come on. Mm-hmm. Ladies going to handle business.
They don't want to see us in that.
Handle business.
We'll try.
So Caleb Williams said stats don't matter. Now, I think this is a crazy take because stats do matter to an extent. He threw for 93 yards, completing 48% of his passes. I don't think you need to be a scientist here to know that's not good numbers here. I mean,
But he got the win, though.
Now, I have a question. How many points does offense score?
Also true. Not enough.
Well, no. The thing is all of their touchdowns were defensively.
Right.
So I think he should have taken accountability for that because it's disrespectful to the defense.
He said in the interview, I'll read it here. I said, we want to be the most efficient team out there, myself included. Didn't perform the way I wanted. Missed a few passes, that I normally don't miss. And he took ownership for.
He did, but he did also say his performance was fine, which it wasn't fine. He should have said, "I was awful, and I got to do better."
Word for word.
Word for word, because it's obvious. I mean, he couldn't complete a pass. It was frustrating to watch.
14 for 29.
He also has one of the greatest receiving cores in the NFL, and he has a great running back in DeAndre Swift. So I think that you kind of have to take accountability for that because you're given this. I mean, I think he's put in the best rookie quarterback situation in NFL history. I really have never seen. They signed Keenan Allen in the offseason. They drafted top 10 pick with Rome Odunze, and they got DJ Moore, obviously. So I think that you can't give a rookie quarterback anything more than that. And the fact that they, lost.
Still takes
the fact they won to a Titans team, which is considered the worst team in the NFL, and they barely beat them, and the defense had to win the game for them, is pretty disappointing. So who makes it out of the three-way playoff race in the WNBA for the 8th spot? It's between the Sky, the Mystics, and the Dream. Now, the Sky is up 2 games on the Mystics and 1 game on the Dream. Now, the Sky plays both teams in the stretch. So if any of these teams want to make that spot, they have to beat the Sky. It's that simple. So who do we have making it out of that race?
I mean, it's going to be hard for the Sky to make it without Angel Reese.
You think so? Yeah, I think so too.
Double machine, hurt her wrist, out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to hurt losing Angel, but I still think that Cardoso is going to step up. I think the Sky overall will probably make it out of there just because of how gritty and tough the team is overall. I think just everyone else would have to step up and play better. But I think the Mystics, I only know of Aaliyah Edwards. I don't know off the top of my head a lot of their other players, but I think the Sky, they're just from top to bottom, they're a lot grittier, tougher team to play. And I mean, you've seen it in highlights. They probably have the most flagrant fouls, technicals, besides probably Diana Taurasi, but they're just a tough team. It's going to be a tough game. And I think that everyone else is probably going to step up without having Angel.
Yeah, I think that are also a game ahead and 2 games ahead. So I think that does help a lot in this stretch.
They have a lot of cushion.
Yes. And I mean, the Mystics is a young team. So it's tough. It's tough for them to really come back this late into the season. So I do think the Sky is going to keep that spot. So the next segment we have is the top 5 women's 3-point percentage shooters. Number 1, Pow Pow. And second place, we had Kaylee Wilson. Third place, we got Hannah from Chattanooga. And fourth, we have the Great Dane legend, Meghan Huerter.
The sniper.
And then fifth, Ellie Evans. So
yeah, that's not as exciting as Meg. So.
Yeah, come on. No. She didn't even need to be. She didn't even need to be talked about.
We could have just went top 4 and clipped it right there.
Ellie, if you want to come on this podcast, you rebuttal that. You're welcome.
Well, congratulations first.
Yeah, congrats. That's a big accomplishment. Now, with that being said, first place obviously has more experience in college. That does help. And there was a few seniors, but I will say second and third place were freshmen, which is remarkable to see because usually it's hard to start as a freshman. So to get top 5 3-point percentage is also amazing. Mm-hmm. Now, my question for you with this happening is, if you pretty much doubled your 3-point percentage from Providence. I think it was 28%. Yeah. The 45 is a remarkable jump. How did that happen? How does that happen? Is it the having more shots and being able to have more opportunities?
Yeah. I think it was just more confidence. And I think too, at my old school, I wasn't as much of they didn't lean on me more to score. Whereas here, they're okay, we need you to score, we need you to stretch the defense. Whereas at Providence, they more focus on their point guards and combo guards and post to really do the work. Where I was kind of I didn't play that much because they just, I don't know, they just didn't want the shooting, I guess. But also with me transferring,
some shade there.
We want the shooting here.
Yeah, I mean but also with that, I kind of thought about it too. Is why am I going to be wasting my college years at a school where I might not even be looked at? And two, I want to kind of come home, I want to change, but definitely coming here, it was some sort of comfort, and the coaches just instilled a lot of confidence in me, and a lot of the shots that I was taking, I was practicing a lot on my own, so it's more just that repetition of getting the shots off. So I think that was the biggest thing.
Now for segment 10, we have King of the Hill WNBA edition. The first matchup I have, be very careful, is Sophia Cunningham versus Chelsea Gray. I think it's a clear winner here.
Chelsea Gray.
Clear winner here. I'm going with Meg. She's the expert. She's a pro. Chelsea Gray.
I think that's an awful pick here.
Are you serious?
Sophia Cunningham, is a star in the. I might be biased. Mercury.
We can't say star in the making because it's right now.
I'm not saying star in the making because she's not that young. No offense. You look great, but you're not old. I don't want to make it seem like she's old because she's 26. She's not Tyner Durossi.
So wait, so she's old. She's old and she's 26, but Jimmy Butler's 34 and he's not old.
Well, I think
Jimmy Butler plays for the Heat.
In my opinion, I don't know if this is correct. I think it's correct, but I think you have to put in consideration the longevity in the WNBA compared to the NBA. I mean, we've seen first round picks like 2 years ago, number one picks out of the league. Like it seems like it's there's less teams and everything.
Yeah, there's less opportunity.
So there's less opportunity. So I think age is a little different than it is in the NBA because
absolutely
the NBA, I mean, Jimmy Butler could be awful one year and he's still going to get a job because of what he's done before. But in the WNBA, it's a lot shorter of a leash. But I mean, whoever has more points per game this year, it's Sophia Cunningham. I mean, I guess it could be positional.
It's different roles on a team.
Yeah, it's different roles. I mean, Aces are the better team. Aces are phenomenal. You know what?
I'm still sticking with my Chelsea.
You sound like you're having second thoughts here, Jason.
Yeah.
No, I just love Sophia
I think you're talking yourself out of your...
I don't know.
You can join the winners if you
want.
All right, well, you know what? We'll see in the playoffs. You know, both teams have clinched a playoff spot. Now, the next one is interesting. Is Chelsea Gray versus Angel Reese.
Two different players. I feel like Angel Reese.
I'm going
already. Wow.
I was gonna say I'm an Angel Reese stan, so double machine.
Yeah, I mean she can shoot from the outside, go inside. Like if it's a post game, like Angel Reese is winning every single day. And then when you bring it to the outside, like she's a capable 15-foot shooter.
Now the debate that's going on is she a stat pattern for the double doubles?
Honestly, okay. It's not going to take away from how good she is, but like
it's not.
She does get a lot of her rebounds off of offensive misses, especially her own, but it's also like she's still getting those rebounds.
Yeah, she's still putting in the work.
Even if it's off her own makes, like no one else is getting that rebound besides her.
Yeah, I think the thing I loved about, when I saw her live was that her hustle is so underrated. I mean, her and Paige are like the top two person when you just think of pure hustle, because they will get that ball no matter, their size or anything. So I think that, that's what happened with LSU. I mean, when they played Iowa, they were getting every rebound in the beginning for the majority of the game, which, I mean, Caitlin Clark doesn't miss, so it didn't really matter.
Especially that game.
She was something else. But because of that, the rebounding was crazy. It was like 65% to like 35%. Like they completely destroyed the boards, and it was because of her and because of her dominance. Now, the matchup that everyone wants to hear is Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. I think it's an easy one here.
Angel Reese.
Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese.
I think you already went on record picking Caitlin Clark, but all right, you could switching sides now.
Nah, I mean, they both had incredible starts to their careers in the WNBA, but I'm just going with Angel Reese because of the boards. I think the assists also, I can't really compare that.
Okay, wait, but it's one-on-one though.
Oh, playing.
No, it's not one-on-one. It's 5-5. I think it's Caitlin Clark easy. I mean, her vision is unbelievable. Great shooter. And put it this way, if you put... Sorry to the Bayou Barbie, but if you put Angel Reese on the Fever, they're not even close to as successful as they are now. Like Caitlin Clark's impact. I mean,
it's not a hot take.
It's not a hot take. What I mean, they had the number one pick and their playoff team this year.
And the Fever didn't win more than 18 games last season, and they're already at 18 right now. And they started 1-8 in the beginning of the season, and now what are they? They're top 6 in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
whereas her team is fighting to even get in that 8th spot.
Oh, she's dissing Angel now here.
No, it's all respect. It's all respect, but it's also like, okay, they still are fighting for the 8th spot, even with her before she's hurt. Now she's recently hurt, but it's like Caitlin Clark overall impacted the whole offense, whereas Angel Reese is really good. She's very good, but she doesn't impact the offense like Caitlin Clark does. Just I think solely because Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands a lot more than Angel Reese does.
This is true,
and I mean. Let's be honest, in WNBA, it is very, very hard to get a triple-double. Oh, and for her to get 2 in her rookie season...
All right, we're going with Caitlin Clark. Then you convinced me.
Now, the last one I have here is Caitlin Clark versus A'ja Wilson.
A'ja Wilson. Champion. Olympian. One. If you say otherwise,
no, I'm just thinking
I'm leaving.
Okay,
Champion, Olympian. Come on,
you're leaving your own podcast early?
Absolutely.
Caitlin Clark.
Really? All right, you gotta fight it out for the last one.
For me, I'm gonna say tie.
Really? All right. I mean,
they're both the top 2 contenders for MVP. I feel like
that's pretty crazy hearing a rookie being top 2 for MVP. I don't know if that's ever happened. That is
seen it since D Rose.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, the only reason is because she's a rookie and she's putting up the same amount of stats that A'ja Wilson, who's been a presence in the league.
Well, to defend her a little bit, if you put A'ja Wilson on the Fever, are they a playoff team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And because sorry, you think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Aces are so dominant with they're so stacked. You know, they have Kelsey Plum, A'ja Wilson, Chelsea Gray. So I mean, it's hard to speculate, but yeah, they're probably I don't know. So you guys got to pick. I mean,
I said my piece.
Are you gonna switch over? Or are you gonna double down?
Join the winners.
I'm gonna say Ty, even though I want to say Caitlin Clark for him to leave. I want to see the action.
So since you said Ty, you made a clearance for A'ja Wilson.
Yeah.
A'ja Wilson does win King of the Hill.
All right.
She does.
I'm with it.
I'm not upset about it.
For the next segment here, we have guess what all these NBA players have in common.
Guess what they have in common?
Yes. The players are Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Amari Stoudemire, and Kwame Brown.
And Kwame Brown.
I feel like he was a nice throw in there, to like really shake it up a bit.
Loop, yeah. You can't be having a ring, is it?
No.
Yeah, I don't fucking.
Wait, does Stoudemire would have a ring?
Nah,
Is it winning with the Lakers?
I think you said that because I'm a Suns fan. That's pretty disrespectful. Saying,
Yeah,
they have all a ring.
try to diss. Jacob, what we got, Jacob?
Bro, I don't know.
No help.
It's not that hard. It really isn't that hard.
It's not the Lakers.
Think, stop.
Can we get a hint?
2 players in the list make it a very easy question.
Kobe and LeBron. Those are the 2 players?
I'm not saying, but it could be. But if you can't think about Kwame Brown or even Stoudemire because it makes it a lot harder of a question.
Might be here all night.
Just guess. It's really not that hard of a question. It really isn't. You just haven't said any guesses.
I
don't know where to guess.
It's embarrassing. It's really not that hard. I would have got this.
Okay, then how about this? We'll ask you, and you get it right.
I already know the answer.
Exactly. You'll look really smart.
No, but think about it. What did LeBron and Kobe do that they're very known for doing that not a lot of players do? Like, there's a reason there's only like 4 or 5 names here because not a lot of players have done this. Think about hype.
Someone do with like MVP. Wait, yeah, no, that's where I was just thinking of the 2. Wait, my fault.
Well, Amari Stoudemire, I mean, it's close. Call me Brown.
Lottery pick?
No, I mean, I think, yeah, but no, that's not what I'm looking for.
That was a good guess.
It's right in a different way.
This one's a little more like
number 1 pick.
No.
No.
They were not number 1 picks. Kobe wasn't number 1 pick.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? It's more refined than lottery. It's really.
I feel like you just got to tell
I'll give you one hint, and that's it. Yeah. And it's a huge hint.
Oh, yeah.
The answer cannot happen anymore.
Oh, from high school to the NBA.
Yes, that's it.
One take, clip all the 5 minutes of us getting it wrong.
Now you know. Now you know the answer. It wasn't that hard. It was doable. Because Kobe, LeBron, high school. That's what.
Yeah, didn't click. But go ahead.
Yeah, right over my head.
Kwame Brown was a great throw in that. I thought it really threw everybody off, but I didn't even know he was drafted. I didn't even know he was drafted from high school.
I didn't know that either.
But if you asked what college Kwame Brown went to, I wouldn't know either. So it makes sense. All right, so we're playing Guess the NBA Player. You get 20 questions to narrow it down, and by then you better guess the player or you lose. That's simple.
Does he have a championship?
Yes.
What era is it in? 2000s, 2010s?
2000s.
Is he an active player?
No.
Is he in the Eastern Conference?
Wait, I mean, like, he's not active.
Was he in the Eastern Conference?
Yes.
Did he play with any other All-Stars?
Yes.
Any current All-Stars?
No.
Was he on more than 3 teams?
Yes.
Did he play in the 2000s?
Yes.
Did he play for the Heat?
No.
Only 3 options. So did he play for the Pistons?
Yes.
Was he a guard?
No.
Ben Wallace.
That is correct.
Come on.
And Ben Wallace, if you're watching this, happy birthday.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Happy birthday, Ben Wallace. Yeah. 1 take. Easy.
Oh.
That was bad dap.
Come
on. There you go. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Just Talks. We'll see you next time.